Good morning, Peralta. Welcome to Flex Day. My name is Mark Johnson. I'm the Executive Director of Marketing, Communication, and Public Relations at the Peralta Community College District. Welcome. I'm here with Dr. Inger Stark, who is our
currently called Staff Development Officer, but I am hoping this semester we will change it to Faculty Professional Development Coordinator.
Great. Well, over to you, Inger.
Okay. Look at all the people coming in. I am stunned. There are so many people this early in the morning. Mark, will you remember when you see Brielle Plump to flip her to be a panelist just during the coffee hour also? Mm-hmm. So having sort of a pre-Chancellor's welcome and pre-keynote event as a half-hour coffee hour is sort of a trial thing. I decided with my colleagues who helped me guide the day's plan and session to try a few new things today. So you will see on the schedule that, as always, we're having a Chancellor's Welcome, which is the sort of formal kickoff at 9 o'clock. And you will notice that we're doing a leadership roundtable. Many people really appreciated that last fall. We did videos instead in January, but I decided that there are so many big issues this semester and people really have a lot of questions, that the leadership roundtable live with our faculty and administrative leaders would be super helpful. Mark Johnson's going to help me moderate that and use a true Q&A session. So after each of the leaders gives a kind of an overview and update, then you participants will be able to ask questions of them live. They also will be focusing on dialogue in the chat. So first we have the keynote Chancellor's Welcome at 9. Then we have the leadership roundtable at 10. I decided, based on a lot of the feedback I got after January and from colleagues on the PD committees at the 4 colleges, and also just participants, that it would be great to have morning sessions. Obviously, we have 164 people here for coffee and chat this morning. So we actually kick off our sessions at 11 o'clock. More sessions at noon, although those are mostly brown bag session and quick starts. So that's the other thing I wanted to let you know, that we're trying something else this time, which are called quick start sessions. 30 minutes only, 15 to 20 minutes of information, 5 or 10 minutes for questions and answer and dialogues. The facilitators will then give you resources where you can learn more about the topic, but it gives people the opportunity, if there isn't a particular 1-hour session that you want to go to, you can jump into those quick starts. One thing I would like to ask of everybody today is I have created evaluations for almost every single session. The facilitators will give you those links at the end of the day. It would be super helpful. They're really quick, they're footprint, they're almost all identical, take you 35 seconds to answer them. But that feedback is really important in building professional development going forward, particularly the flex days. So please try to take the time to fill out those evaluations. I have put the evaluation link for each session also on the online schedule, and I believe they're on the PDF version too. So what else did I want to say this morning? I wanted to make a really great big thank you to a handful of people. First and foremost, Chancellor Jackson, Dr. Jackson, who will be speaking with you shortly, reached out to me right away upon arriving and said that she really wants to prioritize professional development and engage our Peralta community all year long, but beginning today. So thank you, Dr. J, for your support. I also want to thank the PD committees at the colleges. They serve kind of as a consulting body and help develop Flex Day. Do not forget that tomorrow is College Flex Day at each of the colleges. And my emails have had buttons to their schedules, and I will send those out again later this afternoon and this evening. I also wanted to give a special thanks to Brielle, who is here. Brielle, hopefully you'll turn your camera on and join us. And tell you about a really exciting new project. Brielle has helped me develop today in many ways, but one of the things that's most important is the brand new faculty resources, which I'm gonna let Brielle tell you about. You wanna talk about that for a minute, Brielle?
Sure. Thanks, Inger. And hello, everybody. Good morning. 179 and counting. Nice to be here with everybody. I wish we could be in person, but this will work. My name is Brielle Plump, and I'm the Education Technology Coordinator for the district. And I have the pleasure of working with Inger on lots of projects, but mainly I work with the distance education team to build resources for online instruction. So thanks, Inger, for inviting me to talk a little bit this morning and throughout the day, because my main goal today is just to share what's available for faculty as you're moving forward with your online instruction for another semester. So in short, I just want to note that I will be giving a fuller presentation later at noon and another presentation at 1 p.m. today. At noon, I'll be talking about the Faculty Resource Canvas Shell, which is a resource that hopefully you've already interacted with on some level. It's within Canvas and available to all faculty, and it gives instructional content on online instruction and distance education. At 1 p.m., I'll be talking more specifically about academic integrity and how you can build and design your course so that you support your students and ensure that they are aware of all of the definitions and restrictions around not cheating, around plagiarism, etc. And I'll also be briefly talking about some of the tools we have within Canvas that can help support academic integrity. So with that being said, Inger, do you want me to share my screen and talk about the Faculty Resource Canvas Shell, or should we hold off and see if we have time?
I think we should hold off and have time. Tell them again when that particular session is, because that's a really crucial session today for faculty. By the way, we will record Brielle's presentation, and links for all the sessions, the recordings for all the sessions will go up in the schedule. They'll replace the join link. It'll say recording link as soon as I get those. So tell them when it is again, Brielle.
Sure, it's at noon and it's just 30 minutes. And I'll be honest, the first 5 minutes is going to hopefully give you all you need to know. After that, it'll be kind of Q&A, and I'll point out some different helpful resources, but I think it'll be pretty intuitive if you just come in for those first 5, if that's all you can make.
Okay, yeah, terrific. So a couple comments again. The quick start sessions are a new thing. So we will be really excited to get feedback on how people liked those. You'll see there are a number of them. They start at 12 and go all the way up through 5 o'clock. Again, I will say that the links for the recordings will replace the join link as soon as I have them. Those are dependent on when the person who hosted the Zoom session can get me the link. The one for the plenary will probably take a little longer. That one might not go up until Monday or something. I'm not sure. Mark and I will have to coordinate that. But if you miss a session like the one today about the faculty resources, hopefully by tomorrow there will be a link where you can go and watch or listen to the recording. The other thing I wanted to say about the quick start session is I'd like to give a shout out to Cora Lighton, who teaches at BCC. She was the brainchild of doing quick start sessions. And then Brielle and I dialogued and decided that they might be kind of an interesting way to try something new. So hopefully those will be great. I'm looking at the chats. A couple people are saying they're having troubles with finding links and schedules, but it seems like other comrades are helping them. So let's see. Let me tell you a little bit about some of the sessions today and how they came to be. So the High Flex session at 11 is with Dr. Brian Beatty, who's a sort of expert. Again, thank you, Cora, for the recommendation on High Flex, which is essentially developing your pedagogy so that students can learn in a flexible way, in the manner that is best for them. So, and essentially you almost like develop your pedagogy so it would be accessible to students, whether they are face-to-face with you or online, and that you're able to sort of do both, all right? And he is literally kind of the country's one of the foremost thinkers about high flex design pedagogy. The session this afternoon with Kevin Kelly, many of you know him. He's taught many sessions for us and has helped our DE team for a while, is similar. It's teaching in multiple modalities. He sort of builds on and tells sort of another version and another way of teaching in multiple modalities. There are 2 deep dive equity sessions today in the afternoon that are both brilliant. The one at 1 o'clock is with a presenter who presented at Laney. And she is doing how to create LGBTQ+ inclusive classrooms. So she's doing a session at 11 that just kind of a real presentation overview of understanding how identity works for our students, how intersectionality works for our LGBTQ students. And then the workshop at 1 o'clock is really a deep dive in, okay, so if I want to create more inclusive classrooms, how do I actually do that? The session that starts at 3 o'clock is with, thank you, Janelle Tillotson, who has been the champion for about 1.5 years of our intergroup dialogue initiative, which a number of people participated in a series of workshops last spring. They will probably be there this afternoon. And that afternoon session is kind of to remind people, what is that intergroup dialogue initiative about? How can it inform and create an improved work culture and be, and also then obviously develop our communication skills in ways that will impact our teaching and our students and our college campus cultures. Those are the only 2 90-minute sessions today. You'll see the long list of the quick starts. There are 2 sessions today that a lot of people have emailed and me asking about. The one at 12:30 on what's called Campus Shield is about an app and a system that students will use. Each day they can go into their app, screen a number of questions, and then the app will give them a green check if they are cleared to go onto campus related to their COVID status. All right, so if you want to learn a little about that, that's the quick start at 12:30. That will be recorded, and I will definitely share that one out on the schedule, and I will email it out in the future so faculty can understand what will our student experience be if they're coming to campus, how do they screen, and then basically they lift up their phone and show a faculty member a green check, and that means that they the process of screening has been completed. If for any reason they don't get the green check, the app will then give them a number of resources and people to contact to find out what to do next. The afternoon session at 4:30 called Campus Nurse is not a screening, a daily screening. It's an app that the district will be rolling out that helps faculty enter the information related to their vaccination status and their testing status. No doubt, Dr. McKinley will talk a little bit more about that in the roundtable, but that one's at 4:30. Again, that will also be recorded and shared out later. Let me look at the schedule really quick. There are a number of sessions by the Peralta Federations of Teachers. They're going to do a deep dive into the budget, which will be very helpful for faculty to know as this semester goes on. There is a required tenure review committee meeting this afternoon. All tenured faculty, and by the way, we have a handful of new ones, will be required to attend that. It sort of guides you and supports committees through the process of tenure this fall semester. One of the events that's kind of a brand new thing is we're doing a session on the Brown Act. And many of you might be like, oh, I don't know, I don't want to go learn about the Brown Act rules, but I want to tell you the presenter, Steve Eng, is amazing. He and I have spent a few hours dialoguing. Thank you to our Chancellor for recommending him for a Brown Act session. And he really is focusing how the Brown Act is absolutely a foundation and requirement for creating an equitable and inclusive institution. So he talks about the logistics of the Brown Act and how we make sure that we follow the guidelines and the rules, the legal parameters. But he also talks about why we even have it, how it will impact us as an institution and a community, how it will impact our students, and how it is really an equity focused and guided, based on creating an inclusive decision-making processes at our institution. There are a handful of other things. I also want to invite you between 5 and 5:30. There's a link if you'd like to join me for something similar to this, although I'll talk less and listen more, between 5 and 5:30 for a wrap up. Lastly, I wanted to make, and I hope everybody will listen to this because this is a really important thing for me to say. My job, which is titled Staff Development Officer, I don't love the title. I'm going to petition this fall that the title be changed to Faculty Professional Development Coordinator. The reason is that the job is essentially written into Ed Code. It's required by law. It is a union contract position, and my job is to develop professional development and support the college committees for faculty. I'm not saying that because I don't believe staff are entitled to the same. They absolutely are. Unfortunately, our district currently doesn't have a structured position or a structured title or a designated person who is charged and supported to develop professional development for our classified professional colleagues. And I regret that. In the last year, I've worked really hard to be inclusive and work with different communities, the union, the Senate, and individuals, the district level committee. So I want to make a very large apology to my classified professional colleagues that today is very faculty focused. And I give you my word, I will do better for January if I have a handful of contacts and peoples to work with. And I will help advocate that we sort of restructure the way we do professional development at the district so that it's more inclusive. So I think that's all. I guess I've said my great big thank yous. Again, if you're confused, this plenary session and your link to the session is for the welcome and address by our new Chancellor, Dr. Jackson. It is the same place. We'll take a little 10-minute break and then we'll start the leadership roundtable right here in the same Zoom from 10 to 11 or 10 to 10:50, and then we'll launch. Let me see if there's any questions. Mark, do you see any questions in the Q&A or anything I should address?
No questions yet.
A couple people are saying, what do you mean by Campus Nurse? It's an app. It's literally an app on your phone. Campus Nurse is a company that develops resources for educational institutions that focus on health and wellness. So Campus Nurse is really the name of the company, and it will be what's called, the app also will be called Campus Nurse. So stay tuned. I come back for the leadership roundtable. I think our Vice Chancellor of HR and Employee Relations is going to help with that. And then lastly, I want to remind you that all 4 of the colleges have these amazing days scheduled tomorrow. So I'm sure you've seen emails from your professional development committees. I will put the links on my subsequent emails about today and and send those out tomorrow morning also. And I guess that's all. So any questions, any comments?
So Marie has asked if we can drop, Moria has asked if we can drop the app information in. I'll put a link to Safe Peralta shortly. The links to both the Campus Shield app for students and other site visitors and the link to the company nurse website are both posted on the Safe Peralta website.
Oh, that's excellent. And you'll see again that there will be probably more information at the leadership, and then there's a session on each, one at 12:30 and one at 4:30 that will be recorded. And I'll share those links out. And Mark, maybe you can help me share those links out as well to the campus communities after today.
Of course.
All right. Oh, Michelle asked a good question. Should they go into the syllabi? I am going to leave what you put in your syllabi up to you. And I would watch the presentation first, Michelle, and see if you feel it's appropriate for listing as your student. But what might also make sense is to give students the link to the Safe Peralta website where they'll be able to get lots of information. Right, Mark?
Absolutely.
Great.
Oh, Inger, if I could, early on, we got a number of comments saying it'd be great if we could see everybody. And I 100% agree with those comments. I think a lesson learned for us is that maybe we should have done the coffee session as a regular Zoom meeting.
A separate one.
Yeah, and then, yeah.
So the reason is, so Zoom meeting is what most employees, faculty, and staff are used to using, and that's a different feature. The Zoom webinar, which is what we're in right now. As you notice, it required registration, and it's different. It functions different because it then has panelists. You can't see everybody, but it has all these really great features for more of a presentation. So I apologize. Next time coffee hour will be a regular meeting. The happy hour this afternoon from 5 to 5:30 is a regular Zoom meeting, so everyone will be able to see each other. And actually, let me make one more offer here that Donald, I'm going to attribute this great idea in some ways to you. This morning, as this coffee hour was getting started, Donald was saying, gosh, I miss seeing my colleagues in the morning and getting some treats and coffee and scones. He said he missed scones. So I'm going to make an offer of anybody who comes to the session, the happy hour session this afternoon. I will download the participant list. I will randomly draw, let's say I'm going to draw 5 names from that list. And those 5 people will have coffee and breakfast treats delivered to their home, if they're willing to give me their address, at the coffee session in January. So Flex Day January, you could possibly win 5 people. I'm gonna draw 5 names out of the happy hour session this afternoon from 5 to 5:30. All you have to do is show up, say hello, chit chat a little. Your name will go in a list. I'm gonna draw out 5 names, and then those people can give me their addresses. And next time on Flex Day in January, they'll be able to sit here and show all the goodies that they got for breakfast in the morning. So Donald, definitely show up for happy hour and put your name in.